Here we have the GlassRaven 4G trail camera from Creative XP. Here's some more information if you guys want to get in contact with them. The camera shoots full HD 1080p video, has an IP66 weatherproof rating, has a really wide lens of 110 degrees, a 0.35 second trigger speed, 57 invisible infrared LEDs, up to 65 feet in range, and then the camera is AT&T SIM card compatible. SIM Hero recommended. I'm not really sure what that means yet. I guess I'll find out when I get into this. Has GPS location. You can send photos and videos to your phone and email. Also has wildlife monitoring and is good for home and farm security. 4 steps to receive a photo instantly with the included SIM Hero card. So you got to go to mysimhero.com, register the account, and then switch from off to setup, menu, 4G, send the email section, not phone section. Insert your email and phone number, and then it looks like there's an insert that we need to read when we get this thing open, and then you save. So it looks like here is the SIM Hero card, and they must already be in the camera. At least I hope so. Once again, it shows you how to register this and set this camera up. So stop, make sure you read this before you use the camera. A lot of information here on how to get this set up. 4 easy steps to receive a photo instantly with the SIM Hero. 4 easy steps, but a lot of reading. And then here, we love to hear from you, 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. And then it looks like they have some other products that Creative XP makes. You got 20% off coupons for those. You can just use them right on Amazon. Oh, well, that's nice. It looks here that you can actually claim a free solar panel. So I'm gonna have to look into this. No credit card required, 0 cost. That's great because I know that all cellular trail cameras need outside power sources. And then it actually comes with a manual, which is nice because not a lot of these trail cameras actually come with a manual. Most of them now are download only, so I will be able to go through this and get some more information. It has a very small Allen wrench, not sure what that's for yet. USB cable. I assume that this is for the free solar panel. I'm not real sure, but it's definitely some kind of an adapter. Oh, you know what this is I have the solar panel box, and what this is this is an adapter so that I can hook it up to this camera and use the big 12-volt adapter right here. That's nice that they actually come with that. That's a good feature to have. And then once again, like I've said before in other trail camera videos, I do not like these mounts. I will not use this mount. It is nice that they provide this for you, you know, as a security feature, putting it on a wall or something like that. This is not that bad. You definitely have to have some pliers to get these bolts tight though. I will tell you right now that you have to get some pliers to get these bolts tight. That looks like that's what the Allen wrench is for here. You can tighten this down. So that's nice that they give you the Allen wrench and the adapter, but like I said, I really don't want to use this in the field. I could see using it as a security camera. I would have no problem using this, mounting it to a wall. Mounting it to a tree, it's a different story. This thing bends. It's just not quite right. And then it comes with a strap. Looks like a pretty decent strap. Got 2 antennas. And then here's the camera. So here's everything that was in the box, out of the box. So now we got this thing out of the box. Let's get it set up. But as you see, it's pretty long. You're talking probably, I don't know, 14 to 16 inches here with the antennas up. You can also turn them down like this. You know, so if you get them up in a tree and there's limbs and stuff in the way, it's easy to move, you know, these antennas, and they will work in pretty much any position. You can literally hang this camera upside down on a tree. It's still going to work. Just like many other cameras that I've used, I wish that this was on this side. So I wish that this was just a cover, a faceplate, and this was all back here. Obviously, you know, I don't design cameras for a living, so I'm sure the camera company has a reason for doing it this way. Let's turn it on. So you got the little screen right there. You can change the camera ID, so basically give it a name and it will show up on your pictures. You go into camera mode, you got photo, video, picture, and video. When you have picture plus video selected, it will use the image size you have selected for your pictures as well as it will have the resolution you chose for your videos. So it won't just take a small resolution picture and then shoot the video. It actually takes the high resolution for both, or however you have it set up. Flash LED, I don't really know what that is. I assume it's low light, and so basically the flash LED is pretty much, if you have it uses all LEDs. If you have low or you have part, then it's going to use less LEDs. Image sizing goes 16, 12, and 8 megapixels. Night mode. See, that's where I'm confused. Is it says flash LED, and then you go into night mode, and it literally makes it so you can change how the LEDs are working. So I'm a little confused by that, but maybe you can use the top LEDs or the bottom LEDs. Multi-shot, you can do 1 to 5 pictures. Full HD, you have 1080p, regular HD 720p, and then you have the standard 480 as well. Video length, you can change this from 5 seconds to 59 seconds. I've been running mine at 15 seconds. Sensitivity, you have high, middle, or low. Delay, you just turn it on, and then from there, once you hit on, you can select how long you want the delay. I have mine set up for 10 seconds. I believe you can go up to 24 hours or 23 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. Time lapse, you can do time lapse with this. I'm not going to do that. You have 2 different timers here. Both you can change so that it will work at a certain time and then it will stop working at a certain time. That's basically just for your sensor. So it comes with a SimHero SIM card, which uses T-Mobile and AT&T. So you actually get both services with the SimHero card. You can also just use the AT&T card if you want to, but they recommend using the SimHero because you have more flexibility as far as being able to pick up signal. So you turn your MMS off, and then it'll use SMPTE, and you really don't need to do anything. It's automatically, once you turn Sim Auto Match on, it's pretty much automatically set up. You get 50 megabytes free with the SimHero card that you can use right away. So as soon as we get this card going, it's really easy to set up. The one thing with the SimHero is it will not send to a phone. So you cannot put your phone number in with the menu button. For transfer mode, you can choose between photo and video. Right now I only have the SimHero 50 megabytes plan, so I'm not going to be sending any videos. Here you can change the size of the pictures that are being sent to your phone. Obviously, you know, for data purposes, you're probably going to want to use small, maybe even bigger, but I wouldn't go with the original because they are pretty big files. So you can limit to how many pictures you want sent per day. You know, you can go up to 99, or you can just go unlimited. I guess it just depends on what kind of service you have as far as how many you want to have sent to you. From there, you can also you can change it from daily to instant. There is no option for hourly or 2 times a day, 1 time a day. You know, it's just you get them once a day or you get them instantly. With the GPS on, it will actually put the location of where the picture was taken at the bottom in the info strip. So if you don't want anybody to know where that buck was, don't turn the GPS on. But if you have a problem with the camera getting stolen or anything, you're going to want to have the GPS on for sure. And then you can do a daily report, and then you just choose that time that you want to get a picture sent to you. And then other, you can go in and change language, the date, time. You can turn the info strip on or off, and it tells you what kind of batteries you're using, and then the frequency. In the United States, we use 60 hertz, so I don't know if that's important. I honestly don't know. I don't know. And then SD cycle, basically this will rewrite over the oldest files if your card somehow fills up. And then you can turn a password on here so nobody can get in here and change any of the settings. And then if you want to totally clear the camera settings, just hit reset and it'll do that. I've never actually done a video. So when it comes to cellular trail cameras, there's a lot more features that you need to talk about. And we're just going to start from the beginning. First things first is the setup. Now the setup isn't hard, but it definitely is not the easiest setup I've ever had. One, you have to get on a computer, or you have to get on, you know, Safari or some kind of web browser in your app, and you have to go to simhero.com, and then you have to set up an account with them, and then from there you can choose or not choose to select a plan with them. Obviously, if you're going to want to get a lot of pictures, you definitely want to, you know, get a plan. But it does come with 50 megabytes so that you can at least make sure that the camera's working. So when you buy this camera, you can test it, you know, before you buy the plan, and then if for some reason it's not working, you know, maybe you can swap one out with the company. Now, as far as I know, I mean, as far as this camera goes, it's worked nonstop. I haven't had any problems with it. So the reliability on this camera is pretty good. Once again, though, back to the setup, The setup on the camera isn't the most difficult, but it's not the easiest as well. I would like to see them somehow do like maybe a scan, just like a lot of other companies do with like a QR code or something like that. But until that point, it's still easy enough to where you can set it up, have it set up in under 5 minutes and move on and get it in the woods and start getting pictures on your phone. And then from there, when you get it set up in the field, obviously it needs to detect something to take a picture. So let's talk about the infrared sensor. That's the one thing I have noticed is probably the most sensitive camera that actually doesn't make a bunch of mistakes that I've used so far. I've had deer out to around 50 yards and it's still taking pictures and videos of the animals, way off in that distance. And there's nothing else that I can see in the image that would be triggering the camera to go off. And then at the same time, I don't have a bunch of pictures of small birds or weeds moving or anything like that. So whatever is in this, whatever kind of technology or whatever is going on, the infrared is actually really good in this camera. Now that the camera's detected some subjects, let's talk about the photo quality and the video quality. This camera takes high quality 12 megapixel images. You're going to go down to 5, but the 12 megapixel images actually look really good. They're nicely saturated, they're really clear. It's a lot like the other high-end cameras that you're buying where they don't have big megapixels, they just have really good clear images. So they're probably taking pictures at a higher bit depth as well as they probably have better sensors. I don't know what's inside these cameras and I'm definitely not willing to take them apart and look. The video quality on this camera is really good too, but there is some cropping. So if you plan on using it for video and you have it set up, to where it's really nice and wide angle, for your pictures, it's going to crop into that image to take your video. The night images are good. Like I said, if you have it set up right, the infrareds are definitely bright enough. You're going to get a good clear image with an animal in front of the camera. And even in the last couple of weeks where I basically had it set up on a tree that was really far away from the food plot that I had planted, and therefore all the deer were a little bit off in the distance, but it was still picking up all those deer that were walking through. So when it comes to transmissions, before we talk about the quality, we need to talk about how well the service is. And I will say that I actually took this to our deer camp. I will say that I took this to our deer camp while we're hunting for bear about a week ago, because I wasn't able to get it working down here because, like I said, I didn't read the directions and I set it up wrong, and then I had some issues, and but that was all my fault. Luckily, they have quite a few tutorials on the Creative XP YouTube page, and I was able to figure it out. I just had to reset the camera and take away all the stuff that I messed up. So I wanted to get images on the camera and I wanted them to get sent to the app. And even though the camera was taking tons of pictures, it just wasn't sending to the app until I fixed it. I took it to the UP and I said, hopefully it works up here. We don't really have good service up there with AT&T or T-Mobile, but luckily I put it up on the hill and I was getting pictures all night. Well, not all night, but UP all night. It was like one picture every 4 hours. That's a lot of deer. So it was working. It was sending me images, and now we got to talk about the image quality after they're transferred. So as far as transmission quality of the pictures in the camera, the transmission quality is really good as well. Now, in the last couple of weeks where the deer are really far off in distance, it's been a little bit harder to tell what that animal is. But I think that if I would have had like maybe the bigger settings, I would have been able to tell just fine. So if I would have used that HD transfer image, I would have been okay. Any kind of daytime photos or anything like that, there's plenty of detail in the images to where you can actually see, what is walking through your detected area. As far as battery usage goes, I've been running this one camera on instant for the last 3 weeks. Unfortunately, I just haven't got a lot of pictures on it. The deer activity is really slowed down, and then obviously taking to the UP, there's just not near as much deer activity up there. But I've been running on a full set of batteries. I haven't changed the batteries yet, and like I said, I'm just having the images sent to me instantly. You can also hook it up to a 12 volt DC, and I do like the fact that it comes with an adapter because it has the small connector here, and then my 12 volt has a big connector, but it does have the adapter so I can plug my 12 volt into this and the camera will run just fine. Overall, I can say I can recommend this camera, and I think that it is really good quality. It may take a little bit of a learning curve to get it working like the way you want it to work, but other than that, it is really good. It's really good quality. Another thing I'd like to see is I'd like to be able to request a high definition image or even a video download. I understand that the camera will send you videos, but I would like to make it so I only want to select the videos that I want to see. Other than that, you know, it works just fine. And then the one last thing is I would like to make it so you have more transmission options. So I mean, instant's okay, daily's okay, but instant's really only good if you have a 12 volt hooked up to it, and daily, I mean, I really don't like using daily. Overall, I can recommend this camera. It takes really good pictures, takes good videos. It sends them to me. You know, it works all the time as far as the transmissions go. Every time I get a picture, it sends it to me. And then there's a lot of options in the camera that you can fiddle with things as well. So it makes it easy. And then the other thing too is when you're in there, you can actually set it up so it sends it to multiple people. So obviously, if not you don't want everybody in your app messing with the camera, you can just have it set up so that they get the pictures in their email. If you guys are interested in this camera, I do have a link below. Creative XP did send me this camera, but they did not pay me, and they said I could review it any which way I wanted. Just give an honest review, and that's what I'm doing. I do get to keep your camera though. Thanks for watching. Comment down below, hit that like button, subscribe. I gotta go.